check 1, check 2, check 3. What's going on YouTube? It's Fit and Taylor, and today we're talking about Abyssdia. Now, I put about 2 weeks into this game, and I'm looking to kind of tell you guys whether or not it's a game you should be playing. Now, the bottom line is, we're just going to get right into it, okay? The bottom line is, yes, I think this is a good gacha game that you should be playing. I don't think this is going to be your main gacha game, but I think this is a very good secondary gacha game that you could play if you're looking for something to add on, that you could just kind of log in, do your kind of dailies, and then just kind of log into something else. I think this is a great game for that. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here first. So, as you can see, when you start the game, you start off in this little town, which is pretty cool. You could pick five of your characters to put into the town. Now, with these characters, you have this kind of, you kind of like date them, I guess. That's just how it is. But what you can do is you can you can chat with these girls, you can give them gifts, and you can give them food, and that increases their like I guess their affinity for you and everything like that. As you increase their affinity, you get added stats. So as you can see, I'm level 6 with Lapis right now, and her HP is plus 500, attack plus 250, physical defense plus 100, and magical defense plus 100. So it's a good idea to every day come down here and have daily chat with them. So we're gonna talk to her really quick and increase our affinity with her. Like I said, you can also give certain kind of gifts, like certain kind of gifts will increase her affinity a lot more. So obviously she likes this heart necklace, so I have one of these, so we're gonna give her one of these heart necklaces and increase her affinity a little bit. There you go. So obviously you want the gold gifts to give, but like those are kind of harder to get. You have to kind of get those through just playing the game and stuff like that. So really quick, as you can see, I have 200 stamina up in the top right corner, and there's a bunch of different ways to get stamina. One of the things I like about this game is they are not shy about giving you lots of rewards. So first off, let's go ahead and get our daily support. So as you can see, I get a increase in stamina, and then some merits, and then some XP. So I'll do that, claim those. So right now we're at 276 stamina, which is what I really like, the fact that they just give you a bunch of stamina off rip. Let's go ahead and check our mailbox. As you can see, we're getting some gifts and then some extra. These are for one of the game modes that you can run extra. Now, sometimes you'll come into your mailbox and for completing events and stuff, you'll get extra stamina, which is really cool. So, as I was saying, this game gives you a lot. So let's go ahead and I'll just show you my account really quick. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 SSRs, which are, you know, we're gonna call them the 5 stars of this game. All right, 5 stars, and we'll say 4 stars, but it's technically SRs and then SSRs. Now, all of these except for Rachel, I pulled on her banner because her banner was just running. But all these other characters I got from the standard banner. Now, Rin is a character that they give you off rip. So you just do a couple of the challenges and you can get her. I honestly, I pulled her from the standard banner. So as you can see here, I have her at Transcendence 1. You get dupes and you can make your characters stronger. And you can make your characters a lot stronger because if you look at my 4-star Lapis right here, I got her all of her dupes. So you can see that her combat power right now is stronger than all my other characters. Even she's 10 levels under Setia right now, and she still has more combat power than her. So it's very important to get dupes of characters in this game to increase combat power. But like I said, the game is very generous with rewards. So like I said, all these characters I've been able to pull for free, full free off the standard banner. And if you look, I still have a ton of credits up here in this top corner right here. I have a ton of these credits, 17,847 credits to pull on the main banner. Now, if we look at the main banner right now, let's go ahead and look at the main banner. As you can see, we obviously have, now they don't have weapons, they have artifacts. All right, so I have 30 credits that I haven't, 30 tickets that I haven't used on this character. Here's a standard banner. Now, one of the things I really like about this game is it shows you guaranteed SSR artifact within 79 draws, or if I go here, guaranteed SSR Vanguard within 25 draws. So you're never like in the dark about how much you need to pull in order to get a character, which I highly appreciate. I like it when gacha games are kind of upright or very forthcoming about exactly how many pulls you need to pull for a character and don't leave you in the dark. So I really appreciate that. But like I said, it's very easy to get a lot of stuff. So they have this thing over here, the Octave, which you just do different things, clear the main quest, watch the story, do a bunch of other things, reach company rank 21, use 300 stamina, all that kind of stuff. And then you get all these kind of rewards. So you get like a 4-star character, you get a bunch of 10 pulls, which is great. Like I said, this game is honestly very generous. Okay, so we've obviously talked to the character in the town. So if we go here, as you can see, check in daily. If you just check in, you get 100 stamina. Okay, so you get 100 stamina off rip for just checking in. So we're gonna claim all this, right? And then we're gonna claim these here. Okay, now from doing your dailies, as you can see, you can earn another 100 stamina. So right now we're at 376 stamina, and we can go up to 476, which is crazy. A game that just gives you stamina off rip. Now, not only do they just give you stamina off rip when you log in and do your dailies and stuff like that, but as you can see, they also are very generous about giving you these stamina potions. I have 47 of these, and I haven't needed to use them at all because of the fact that I just get so much stamina from just playing the game, which is really awesome. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the characters and stuff like that. So let me just explain really quick about the characters. So right, obviously you have their level, so you can increase level. I think the max is 90. Okay, so if you guys have ever played Genshin, I'm going to kind of use Genshin terms here because Genshin is that's the big gacha game, and that's where everything is going to be compared to. So obviously you have to awaken your character, so you have to get sorry guys, you have to get special materials in order to awaken them. I don't have the unlock. I haven't reached the high enough level to unlock these stones, so that's why I have her at level 70 right now. So you have to get the certain materials to awaken the character, which obviously is to ascend them so you can go to the next level, and then you have to level them. You obviously have Transcendence here, which is getting your dupes, and like I said, dupes are extremely important to increasing the combat power of your characters. You're going to want to get dupes, right? You have your abilities here. So here's your ability tree. This looks kind of like, what the heck is going on here? But one of the things I really like about this game is a lot of the problems I have with a lot of gacha games is the systems are really complicated and they make things really obtuse. This game, it does have a lot of systems, but it does a very good job at slowly explaining and giving to you things in like bite-sized pieces so that it's easy to understand exactly what you need to do and how you should be leveling up. But you have basically, you have your attack tree over here, so increasing attack, increasing your crit chance, increasing your crit damage. Then you have kind of like your defensive tier, so increasing your HP, increasing the amount of damage reduction that you take. And then over here you have your utility, which is your like AP generation. So AP is like what you need to increase your like for your skills. So you're gonna need AP for your skills to level up to fill up your skills so that you can use your skills and then eventually your ultimate in battle. All right, then you also have your artifacts, which kind of act as your weapon. So you don't equip different weapons on characters, you equip their artifacts. So obviously I have Setia's artifact here, which again I just pulled for free off the standard artifact banner, which is, like I said, I've gotten her weapon. You get Rin's weapon for free. There's like a challenge that you do. You have to do a bunch of different stuff for it. Just by playing the game, you'll unlock her specific artifact for free. And then I just have a couple of 5-star artifacts that I just have for other characters that I pulled off the standard banner as well. So I have those, and then you have equipment. Now, one of the negative things I will have to say about this game is getting equipment is kind of a pain in the butt, okay? Because you can't just farm specific artifact sets, okay? What you do is you have to go over here. We're gonna go back here. We're gonna go into our adventure tab, and then we're gonna go to the corrupted entity raid, okay? So we're gonna go to the entity raid, and then we're just gonna pick Uriel, just because that's the boss I've been fighting, right? Now, what happens is you fight this boss, and you get some random right, you'll get random 3-star artifacts, right? Because I haven't got, right, I have to do more of the story to level up. But what happens is you get some random 3-star artifacts, right? And then you get materials for crafting some 4-star artifacts, okay? Once you get all those materials, you go back to the forge, right? So we're gonna go back to the forge over here, back to the forge, and then you use those materials to craft weapon, armor, helmet, gloves, so on and so forth, okay? The only problem with this is, right? So let's go ahead and we're just gonna craft some random armor. Let's craft some armor, okay? I have no idea what armor I'm getting when I craft this, okay? And you can't just craft a set. So let's go ahead and we're gonna craft this right here. And we got 1 piece of armor, okay? So the problem is you have to do a lot of grinding. A lot of grinding for the materials just to get 1 piece. I got this wilderness armor. I can tell you right now, I do not have any other pieces of this set, okay? So then I have to go back to the boss because it's 100. You got to have 100 of these diamonds and 100 of this sand or whatever in order to craft, right? And you just get 1. So I wish instead, hold on. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I wish instead that for the armor sets, that each of these bosses dropped a different armor set, and that way, and by defeating the boss and running the boss, you would get pieces of that armor set. So that way you could pick exactly which armor set you wanted, and you wouldn't just have a bunch of random pieces. All right, so that's my one complaint about this. Okay, but let's talk about the gameplay. Okay, so we have a couple different things here. We have some like some challenge modes. So you have Abyss Evader and the Infinity Abyss, where you kind of like challenge the boss. So let's go ahead and do Infinity Abyss right now just so I can show you. So basically what you're trying to do is you have a set time limit and you want to try to get the highest score that you possibly can. So let's go ahead and try this. We're going to go battle ready. Right, here's my standard team. I have a couple other characters I can use, but really quick, let me talk about this. Okay, so this is your harmonic strike. This is your ultimate. Now, the ultimate kind of changes depending on what element you have in the party. So I have 2 red elements in the party. So it's technically fire, but they just call it red. So red, I have green, and I have white. Okay, so since I have 2 reds on my team, my ultimate is Eternal Blaze. Now, as far as I can tell, the animation for the ultimate is the same, but the effects from the ultimate are going to be different. All right, so if you have 3 of the same attributes, you increase the Eternal Blaze by 100%. So that goes to show that there are some cases where you want to run like a party of mostly red or mostly blue or something like that. Okay, so you can have a second party in this. I don't have a second party built, so we're just going to run the one party, and I'm just going to kind of explain how the combat works. Okay, now I'm not a huge fan of the long range combat in the game. It's just not really my thing, so I usually just stick on my main character. So you have your first skill, and so this skill has 2 charges. Right, you have a dash that you can use. Now, in this game, you have your main skill that you're going to use a lot, okay? Now, while I'm fighting this boss, you can see that my other characters are fighting the boss alongside with me, which I really like. I really like the fact that I can have all of my team on the ground while we're fighting, and that they're actually pretty good. The artificial intelligence for your secondary characters is pretty good. Okay, now, you have a secondary skill, which I'm going to use here. Oh, I got caught by that. Okay. So you have a secondary skill, so I'm going to use my secondary skill, right? Once you use the secondary skills for all your characters, now you get access into your burst. So this is your ultimate move or your burst, as you see that I can use. So again, you're going to have to... AP generation is really key in this game, all right? Because, like I said, you just can't use your ultimate right off rip. All your characters have to unlock their secondary skill. Then once that happens, then you can use your ultimate. So you need to make sure that all your characters are generating their second skill as fast as possible. All right, so you can see that I have 2 characters right now that have their second skill up, and I'm still working on getting mine up. So that's one thing that I need to work on with this character is increasing her AP generation. Okay, so again, I use my secondary skill. Now I use the secondary skill for all my other characters. Now I can use my burst or my ultimate just like this. So a lot of the challenges, it's not. I wouldn't say this game is super tough. There are some challenging things like with the raids, like the Infinity Raid. That is kind of tough. All right. You got to make sure that you have characters built up for that. Okay. But let me go ahead and defeat this boss here. I still got 1 more minute, so I'm going to talk for a little bit while I'm doing this. But the combat is pretty simple. You're just kind of mindlessly attacking the enemy with your left click. Knockdown. Perfect. Okay, so each enemy has like a knockdown meter, so you can get some free hits in. Now, sometimes I notice that when I hit the button for certain character, the secondary skill, they like doesn't go. So I don't know if they're busy doing something else or what the deal is there. But sometimes I feel like I'm hitting the button and nothing's happening. So we got about 40 seconds left. So let's keep attacking this boss. Like you said, Lapis already has her secondary skill up. And like I said, that has to do with the fact that I got a bunch of dupes of her. So she is incredibly strong. And she's just a 4-star, which is kind of crazy to me. So your SR characters or your 4-star characters can be very good if you get the dupes of them, which I really like. So there are some gacha games where if you have SR characters or 4-star characters, they're not very good. You know what I mean? But I like the fact that you can still have an SR character in this game be very good if you get multiple dupes of them. Okay, almost done here. Almost done here. All right, let's go. Put some damage on him. Perfect. Okay. So that's how the combat goes. Like I said, it's pretty simple. There's not a whole lot to it, but I do like the fact that you do have your whole team on the floor while you're... I'm sorry, guys. I had a brain fart, but I do like the fact that you have your whole team on the floor while you're fighting. So, like I said, you have your story mode here, which I am on chapter... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to go back. The world map. So there's a lot. So this game, like I said, I've been playing this game for about 2 weeks now, and this game's been out for probably a month, maybe even less than that. But they do have a lot going on here. So I cleared Act 1. I'm currently in Act 2, working on Chapter 2 right now. So they just have 5 stages per chapter, and then as you complete the story, you unlock like little cutscenes, like little story cutscenes. They're not like actual cutscenes. It's more just like standing gifts. But you obviously have your main quest, and then you have your kind of like specialty modes here where you kind of fight the boss and try to get as much damage as you can. And then obviously you have your I don't know what you would call this, like your basically the pieces that you need. So basically, like here we have XP potions, we have mana rings, which are the currency, enhancing stones, which you're going to need for artifacts, and then abyss enhancing stones, which you'll also need for artifacts as well. Actually, enhancing stones I think are for equipment. Okay, so you have all your XP things, you have your awakening stones, which you need for your characters, and then you have your essence stones, which you need for skills. Actually, not for skills, but for actually, I'm not too sure what these are for. I forgot. I'm sorry, guys. It's late at night. I'm having a brain fart. And then you have your Goddess Temple, which these are used for your abilities here. So solar. So your character's either going to be solar, lunar, or stellar, and that's what you need to increase their some of their skills. Now you obviously have this Empyrean Tower, which is kind of like an infinity run where you complete different stages. Now, one thing that I've realized here is that, okay, so you have a certain level of combat power. Like this one is 141,740. And my characters are at 170,000. So I know that I could probably clear this easily. You also have, right, a physical attack specialization where if you have characters that have magical attack, their damage is going to be reduced by 100%. So you're going to need to actually build out 2 teams worth of characters, because right now on my current team, I have 2 magical attackers and 2 physical attackers. So when I go in to do some of these challenges, I don't do so well because my team has 2 members whose attack is reduced by 100%, which is why I started building up some physical characters, and then I still need to build up 1 more magical character so that way I can do the magical specialization here too as well. And then you can see you get a lot of rewards for doing these this kind of like endless mode. So I highly recommend doing this kind of stuff, running the story. But like I said, oh, also, let's check out some of the events. I'm going to show you some of the events here. They have a lot of events. So starting off, they had this start burning anew. So they have this one character here. I'm just going to call her Cal because I can't pronounce her full name. And then you get a bunch of rewards for completing this, like reach level 20 with this character, clear the Goddess Temple Lunar Trial 1, clear the main quest, and a bunch of these, like equip her with different equipment, craft an artifact, engage in battle with that character with an SSR artifact, which I was able to do. And then once you get that, you get a bunch of tickets and then currency for pulling. You also, like I said, just running the endless mode, you get a bunch of rewards for doing that. The global launch celebration, which I still have a lot more to do here. So as you can see, I haven't done really a lot here, but this kind of stuff is like as you progress through the game and get higher level and stuff like that, you'll be able to unlock some of this. But you get pulls, you get stamina refills, and then you get pulling currency. So there's a lot of stuff here, like the main quest. Like just go through a bunch of the main quest, and then you get a bunch of rewards. So like I said, this game is very, very, very generous for new time players. So that's one of the reasons why I definitely recommend it. Another thing that you could do is, I know I said that you could talk to members around the town, but there's also like these little things that you can pick up, and you get, those are like a daily quest. So you can pick this up and you get some XP potions and a gift that you can give to one of the girls. So you can just run around and grab a couple of those, talk to the girls, and get some extra stamina and stuff like that. So those are my thoughts on the game. I want to know, are you guys playing Abyssdia, and what do you guys think of the game? So leave your comments below, and I will read them later. But you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later.